Check, check. All right. Looks like we rolling. Yep. It's a March 2026 art recap. So March was a very, very busy month, but ironically, I don't have a whole lot of art to show for it. I guess the easiest way to start off would be just scroll to the Instagram and show you all the stuff that I've done, and then we can start off with some of the stuff that I do have, because I don't have a whole lot compared to what I usually do. I only got like 3 complete pieces and then a box of stuff, but we'll get into that. Let's go start on this Instagram first. Let's go check this out. I'm gonna show you basically how the month started, right? So, all right, here's the last recap, right? Then I started on these. These are the chameleon canvases. You know what I'm saying? Check these things out. I got them right here. I'm gonna show them to you in a sec. Yeah. So on the back side, like, I was gonna do some plaster Paris, but it didn't turn out right. I ended up having to cover them with with some vinyl wrap, which, they cool. Don't get me wrong. Look, I got the same one. Yeah. That one ended up being 420 out of all of them. I ended up numbering them 1 through 20, but the one with the tongue, with just the face, was 420. So yeah, that was the first 4 that I did of these. I ended up doing a set of 20 of them, right? But I ended up using a different template for the rest of them. These just the first 4. There's only 3 of the original first 4 left. That's 420. That's my favorite. I might end up keeping that one if it don't move. But anyways, let's go back to the main scene real quick, and I'll talk about these a little bit. So here's one of the first chameleon canvases. Dang, these things heavy. So here's one of the first ones, right? They're all kind of unique in their own special ways, but the first 4 were all freestyle, and here it is. There's 420 right there. But if you check real tight on the back, you know what I mean? I put some wrap vinyl on and made it legit, but I had some imperfections in it, so we're gonna call those the prototypes. But anyways, check out the new template. Like, when I came up with this template, I really liked it because, you know what I'm saying, it's an E. Like, there you go. And every one of these are unique, you know what I mean? Still numbered 1 through 20. This is 20 out of 20. Here's 9 out of 20. And then here you go. Here's 8 out of 20. And 11. How many more I got left? I only got a handful left, but I sold probably about 6 of these things so far. I got a few more coming in for April, but the cool thing is I got a whole box of a better prototype of those. But that's basically how the month started. I made a 20 pack of those to get ready for 420, kind of troubleshoot, see what I need to do right or wrong on them. And yeah, so that was the chameleon canvases round 1, which I'm digging the concept. I just got to figure out how to execute a little bit better. But anyways, let's continue on really showing what happened in March, because that was just the start. And then there's me. If you know where that's at, inbox me, let me know. But check this bad boy out. Yeah, your boy got a new tent, fresh tent, you know what I mean? I got to debut the tent twice this month. Like, I had like 3 or 4 different events, but I only got to use the tent twice. It's cool though. Yeah, shout out Private Hip Hop. Like, follow, subscribe, Edavinci's Art Show everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Got the tent, let's go. Shout out Graphics Gorilla. You see them lights in the background, you know where it's at. Yeah. All right, so there's the tent. So after I got that, I had to pay for this bad boy. I ended up getting some more business cards, you know what I'm saying, some more promo stuff. You see on the back side, I put some ads for the 254 Craft Mall and Private Hip Hop, you know what I mean? Spread the love a little bit everywhere. So there's that. Now here's, a little bit further on the rest of the canvases when I did them. That's all them little E's. Yeah. That's the other 16. Most of those, they're all unique in their own way, but the new batch, just watch. They're going to be dope. I'm excited about the new batch. I'm going to work on those this weekend, but I had to get my recap for March out the way, because you see that? that's what stopped me from doing the recap yesterday. Cause my dang tooth hurt. Had to get it pulled. Anyways, this was the middle of March. This was me down at Abe's Smoke Shop down in Austin, Texas. Shout out Private Hip Hop for the invite. I went down there. I did some interviews. Did some running and gunning, some shit that I be doing. But yeah, let me cut that down a little bit. I don't know why that thing's so loud right there. Anyways, yeah, that was a South by Southwest event, hosted by Private Hip Hop, and it was dope. It was no days off. It was basically the last day of South by, and it was catching people on the way out of town, while they're still, out socializing and stuff. Got my little setup. That was the same day the damn wind gust hit. I'm talking about 40-mile-an-hour gusts. I got to test out the new tent in the debut. Great, It was fun. You see how I had it tethered to the pole. The bad boy was attached. I survived the windstorm though. Shout out Gabe making beats, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, as the month continued, like that was the first event of the month that I did. And then shout out Two Stone, cover right there. I did this picture whenever I was doing some route stuff, but check out the view on that, man. Tell me that ain't immaculate. Well, I'm gonna try to recreate it one day, but I was just impressed by, that sunrise, and I didn't do no artwork towards it. I just had to shout it out real quick. That's one of my favorites. But yeah. All right, so after South by, we had this. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Got my little Lucky Charm, that was my St. Patrick's Day thing. Shout out my grandma. Nana, that was her birthday. So St. Patrick's Day was always more than just clovers and wear green or get pinks, you know what I mean? Like, shout out Nana, like, love you, miss you and all that, But she would have loved the art stuff that I'm doing now. But yeah, check that bad boy. That one will definitely be available at 254 Craft Mile, 4533 West Waco Drive. I'll take it up there pretty soon, but it is what it is. I like it, but it was, just some St. Patrick's Day fun, keeping the spurt. Now after that, I did this little guy right here. Yeah, I should have stopped right there. I like it there, but yeah, see, I almost stopped at that point. Ended up keep going. Did Bigfoot. We're gonna call him the hide and seek king. That's my boy right here. Yeah. So the inspiration with this was actually Eastside Market, because at the previous Eastside Market in February, I had a customer. He actually bought some stuff, and he was like, if you bring some Bigfoot stuff, I'll buy it every time. So I made this specifically to take with me to Eastside Market. I took it up there, before I did my recap, just in case, but he wasn't there that weekend, which is cool. He'll be up there the next weekend probably, but if not, this bad boy getting sold anyway. But yeah, that's the hide and seek king, aka Bigfoot. But that's one of the things that I did throughout the month. Besides that, let's go check, because I really don't remember after that. It was kind of a blur. So yeah, that's that Eastside Market, and then that's actually at the Eastside Market. So see the tent? Yeah, the tent was in use. Let's go. Shout out Edavinci's art show and the tent. Yeah. See, I had some stuff out there. I had a little bit. Yeah. Debut of the Camellia canvases. Boom. All this stuff was on sale, so y'all don't even know. I had to mark that stuff down just because. Ironically, half that art ain't even here, but that's for another event that happened this month I'm going to tell you about. Yeah, that was at Eastside Market. Let's go check that out. I'm sure I'll be at another one this month. Now this piece of art, I got this canvas donated to me, right, by a friend of mine, which is way too big to take somewhere, so I ended up just doing something for Private Hip Hop, which I think it turned out really dope. If you check it out, go check out all the videos and stuff behind it, but I'm gonna have it hanging at Private Hip Hop HQ pretty soon. Yeah. So on that, I just covered it up, and then I came back and I Edavinci that thing out, you know what I'm saying? I added a mic to it right here in the corner. Yeah, if you go listen to it, I actually nailed that video edit, but you gotta go critique me on that. Check out, you know, how that canvas started though. Boom, thing is huge. It's like 26 by 40. It barely fit in my little easel space, but you know, it's cool. Shout out Private Hip Hop Van. My boy Script's still on tour, man. He been on tour all month. That's cool. It's a little welcome back gift whenever he get back to HQ. Yeah. So yeah, there's that. That was another piece that I don't have, so I can't even really get into. Then after that, this last weekend, I did 2 events in the same day. Well, this first one, it was just a creativity market. With shout out everybody involved at the pack, you know what I mean? I just set up a couple tables. I had my interview set up, but I had some technical difficulties, so I had to tear it down. Man, I was sick because I had a good little drop and a couple of people I wanted to interview. I couldn't talk to nobody. You know, I like to go out and run my mouth when I'm at that type of stuff, but I ended up getting the kinks worked out by the time the night show came around. But I was mad I couldn't use that stuff during the day. I had at least 2 or 3 people that I really wanted to talk to. You know, shout out to everybody that was at the creativity market at the pack, you know, right off at Austin Ave. Yeah. Boom. I had free prints. Everybody that liked, subscribed to my YouTube channel, I gave a free print to, which, you know, it wasn't nothing major, but it was something cool. But yeah, that same day, the person hosting the night event, he had stopped by and he was like, so check it out. Do you want to do a live painting? And I'm like, I really don't know if I'm ready. Well, I ended up doing it anyway. Here's how it turned out. You let me know. Oh, that ain't it. Where is it? Oh, there it is. Oh shit, is it not even on there? It might not even be there. Well, would you look at that? Oh, there it is. That ain't it. You shouldn't have done that. Why ain't it hitting play? It's doing the wrong thing. Yeah, it skipped it. Well, I'll be damned. Anyways, go check out that clip. Why ain't it doing that? Oh, there it goes. Boom. I was tripping. I was like, dang, it ain't doing shit. But I had went on a little mission to go get some stuff. Shout out Scuba Valley for the dope ass frog, you know. It's blacklight responsive. And look, all my neons was neoning like a mug that night. Yeah, let's go. Boom. That night half the shit stole, or it got sold. Shout out Jupiter, aka Goody Dro's little boy. Yeah. See, there's my little setup. I did a live painting that night. It was something different. Scuba Valley. Yeah. See, I took that pose right there. Blow! I took that and I put it on the painting that I ended up doing for Goody Dro's, or the Dro's Bros. You know, I didn't do it for just one of them. I ended up doing it for both of them. Hopefully it'll pop up on there. Yeah, that night was super dope. Shit, did I even do the second video on the Instagram? You might have to go look at that. I have to go look for that. I'll go find it. Let me see. Did I get approved? Look at Edavinci with all his dang invites. Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Boom. That's the one I ended up doing. So check it out. What do you think? That was a live painting, is what it actually did. It's the whole night. Yeah. It's a way better post. Look. Yeah. The neons was black light. Let's go. Alright, so it's gonna keep on going. I'm gonna let it keep on going. But you see where my little setup's at? I had the art show was live over there. Shout out Scuba Belly. Scuba Belly! Yeah. There goes the pose. Snap. Boom. Yeah. Let's go. Alright. Well, that's enough of that. We'll go back to where was we at? Alright. So yeah. Might as well go and talk about my little blue bonnets real quick. So after that, this last week, Monday, I did this. I ended up going to a little creative, workshop hosted by Becky Kindred. Shout out Becky. She's one of my favorite local artists. I've done a few markets with her. I like to pick her brain and kind of learn some stuff. But it was cool to actually go and sit down and do a class. You know what I mean? I like to sit in as a student and not even act like I know much. You know what I mean? Sometimes it seems to be a little bit more informative that way instead of going there like I know it all. But yeah, shout out everybody who was at the class. Shout out Becky. Yeah, shout out to Blue Bonnets. It's Blue Bonnet season. I got 2 paintings that I'm working on that got blue bonnets all in them too, so that's kind of the reason I wanted to learn how to do it right. But yeah, we went to MCC, did it legit. I had to register like as a student and everything just to go do the class. But yeah, shout out Becky and everybody that came out. It was a fun time. And then this one I did last night. Well, I finished up last night. If you watched the last recap, you were talking about my pillow. That's what Scuba Belly said. He said, your pillow. Well, before you lay down for bed, clear the negative thoughts from your head. However you got to do it, whether you just do some confirmations, some affirmations, something like that, just, try to go to sleep on a positive note, because you're finna be marinating on that for the next, 4, 6, 8 hours, however long you sleep. But don't go to bed in a bad mood. That's basically what it comes down to. Like, try to vent, try to let it all out whichever way you can. What I do, I get in the shower and I just kind of think about the best parts of the day instead of the worst parts. And then the worst parts, they try to take over, but just gotta fade them out. Look, speaking of paintings gone, shout out Waco Space, Geo. He came out to the event with Goody Droz, Eddie Droz, Big R, everybody, and he got this one from me. The cool thing about that, it's at Waco Space Studios, and the matching table for it is actually a private hip hop HQ. So that is in an important studio, and the table that matches it's in another Waco studio. So it's super dope to have those, a little backstory if you didn't know. But yeah, shout out Waco Space, shout out Geo, you know what I'm saying? Like, he put on for Waco in a big way. Shout out, yeah, let's go. All right, so that's pretty much it. Like, as far as what you can see, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna go back through the art real quick just so I can do the recap part, you know what I mean? All right, where am I at? Boom. All right, so here's the clover I did for St. Patrick's Day, right? Little 12 by 12, did some neons in the middle and did some splatters, did the Edavinci special on that thing. But yeah, shout out to my clover, St. Patrick's Day special. Shout out to the hide and seek king, Bigfoot. Shout out to the person who told me that he wanted a Bigfoot, because I wouldn't have just randomly came up with the idea to do a cool little Bigfoot. But yeah, I did that. And then shout out to the Blue Bonnets. Shout out to Becky Kindred, if you didn't know. Shout out for Becky for hosting the class and letting me come play with her and all the friends, you know what I'm saying? And then don't forget, before you lay down for bed, clear the negative thoughts from your head. Real talk. I don't do it every night, but I try to. You try to stick to it, try to push through it, it'll help. Mental health, it goes a long way for everybody, you know what I mean? But anyways, that is the March recap for Edavinci's art show. Make sure you follow me on all platforms: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, please go build up the YouTube page, because you know it's growing, but right now it's kind of slow. You know what I mean? It is crazy because the views be up, but the subscribers is low. So that being said, let's get them subscribers up a little bit. All right, well, shout out everybody that came out to all the events over this last month. You know, y'all keep me motivated to do more, you know, especially whenever I sell a lot of pieces, then I got to restock. So shout out to everyone that comes out, whether you buy something or you just subscribe, you like, whether we network, you know, all the above. But shout out to everybody that comes through, and appreciate y'all. Stay tuned. More stuff on the way. Trust me. Boom.